Recording.
Yeah, recording now. All right, let's go ahead and get this thing started. So,
Okay.
introduce yourself. Who's Milly Millwood I'm speaking to tonight?
Hi, I'm Milly Millwood. I am an anime tattoo artist and a current VTuber. That's me. I have one husband and three cats, and they're my babies.
Oh, hey, I did meet him at Anime Inc. Very nice person.
Yes, my
So,
husband. He definitely remembers you.
yes, he did. He did. Hey, hey, just trying to be. My parents taught me some manners. So,
Yeah.
so, but enough small talk. Let's go ahead and get into this thing. So like I
Okay.
said, like I've done with the previous ones, I divide this stuff into sections, and there's 20 questions in each section. So it's like four sections, 5 questions each.
Okay. Okay.
So,
Damn, you
um,
ready?
yeah, I did my research. So section one, artistic style influences. You describe yourself as an anime and lewd tattoo artist, if I
Mhm.
can say that here.
Yes. Yeah.
Um, how did you first discover that this was the niche you wanted to build your career around?
Okay. So I guess you have to start why I wanted a tattoo in the first place. Kind of start there at the beginning.
Yeah.
Um, because it brought when I got tattooed for the first time, it was like opening a door. It was like all downhill, and I didn't really like my body a lot. I had really bad body dysmorphia, and um, I was in the military at the time, and we were supposed to have this specific weight set. We were supposed to have look a certain way, and they treated you differently if you didn't fit into that mold. Um, so
Okay.
it made me love myself again. I can't really hate a part of my body that has beautiful pieces of artwork on it. And I realized I wanted to do that for other people. And then um, I was when I at a time this is a time in my life when I was going through a lot of stuff, and I was I was really lost, and some things happened to me, and I realized that I was struggling with my sexuality and being overly sexualized in a way, and I felt like I couldn't be free to be me and freely express myself the way my body looked. And that's when I started drawing those kinds of things. So I started drawing like these beautiful, voluptuous women, the big boobs, the booty, the hip dips, the curves, all the little squishiness, and it felt right, and I realized that I can, kind of help people feel better about themselves, or in a way help them feel beautiful, and it just I don't know, it just kind of clicked with me, and when I met my husband, I became very open about my sexual activities and stuff, and I realized there's a lot of stigma into it, and that there's this barrier in society, like you can't talk about that, you can't do that, you can't, that's taboo, or why would you do that? That's crazy. But you can do everything in a safety setting, as long as you are informed. It's You can basically do anything. And I think a lot of people forget the kind of freedom we have with our bodies. And I try to open that to people's fantasies. Like, it's okay to have fantasies, like it's okay, it's not, obviously there's boundaries. Okay.
Yeah, of
I
course, of
don't
course.
I don't do like Lolita, like lollies. I can't do sexualizing children.
No.
That's a no-go for me.
Yeah.
But I understand, as two consenting adults, like different fantasizations, and it's just easier when it's fictional. Like it's not really a real woman, but you're still expressing those fantasies, ideas in a safe environment. And that's what I try to provide. So that's where my niche comes from.
I have to start somewhere. I like how you well, one, didn't know you were in the military. That's one thing I didn't know
Yeah,
about
I
you.
was actually prior Navy. Yep. I'm retired
Okay.
now. Yeah.
Okay. And other thing too, I know because I know there's some restrictions that some people can just like put them on themselves, and they just can't bring themselves to do it. I will tell you from my own experience. I actually tried to do a new photo shoot at some time,
Okay,
but
like
I really,
boudoir.
yeah, but I realized it's just not comfortable for me, and plus I don't know what the outcome was going to be. So I told myself, let's try to find something else to do, which is
Yeah.
okay. Sometimes you just can't. To be honest, I'd rather leave up to the experts like yourself and other people who handle that sort of thing. Me, I
Mhm.
can't. I'll just stick to what I'm used to, which is like me doing all these videos and stuff. Like
Yeah.
because I've done a lot of video game walkthroughs, and done like I'm doing this now. But you also are right about how there are some like fantasies that people just want to be a part of, and it's like, oh, I can't be a part of this.
Yeah.
I want to be that without. I want to be free with no restrictions. Like no, you can't. No, like for example, you can't like Ultron, for example, you can't put strings on me.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And I think that when people see it in a fictional setting in like art or hentai or anime, it's you're getting that taste of what you fantasize about without putting yourself in danger.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's it's a lot easier. It's like a photographer. You're not going to go to like somebody who does um graduation photos for a boudoir lingerie suit. It's like you gotta know who you're talking to.
That got to know your audience too. Know your
Mhm.
audience because there's a
Exactly.
lot of crazy people online. Just need to make sure you just keep an eye out. You never know who's watching.
Exactly.
So those kind of situations. But yeah, I like how you pointed out that sometimes we want to live in a fantasy world, but okay, if we do this, like sometimes we have to then brainstorm and be like, I want to be part of this kind of sort of fictional place. What can we do about this?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah.
as long as we be safe and professional about it.
Exactly. Exactly. And I provide that outlet, that we can do it in a safe environment in the drawings and the art.
Sweet, nice to know. Was there a specific moment or project that made you realize anime style tattoos were going to be your main focus? Because so far I see on your profile page everything is mostly anime and hentai, and I figured this
Yeah.
has to be like our main force focus.
So I started drawing when I was super young, and it was horses. I was a horse girl.
Yeah.
But I found anime in high school, and I was like, I just fell in love with the animation. My first anime ever was Yuri on Ice. And it just how they put these drawings in motion, and like the emotion was like glittering off the ice, and Victor was over there like, oh, I'm a handsome man, like I fell in love with it. It was like I had found where I fit.
Right.
And
Yeah.
even though I was just watching something on a screen, I felt like I could connect with the animator and with the artist through her drawings and art. She's presenting these two guys who are literally just ice skating and presenting like a whole story and their feelings and their insecurities through art. And I loved that so much. I did try to do some other forms like maybe 3D.
Okay.
Um, I just keep going back to 2D animation. I don't know why. I just keep going back to anime, and it feels right. And obviously over time my style kind of changes, and it goes from like kind of like, oh, just line work and kind of flat color. Now I have a more 3D set of animated anime style tattoos, which I'm really excited about. But yeah, that's basically where it came from.
That's nice because I know, like, with some artists that I've seen and some illustrators, cosplayers, they have to take their time and actually watch full episodes nonstop to make sure they get a clear idea of what exactly they want to show to their audience. Like, what exactly do you want to go for? Me, I might do some research. Like, like for example, like when I get ready for my next podcast episode, I make sure to do my research on the person, what they done, and any kind of good enticing questions to ask. I don't come in unprepared. And the same thing what happened when I had my first voice actor last week. I made sure I did my research on her, and she like said I had good questions. You came prepared in here.
Yeah.
I do my best to make sure that I've done my homework. If I don't do my
Yeah.
homework, then I'm just talking to you.
It is. That's all it is research. And it's a lot of looking for reference photos. It's so much of that. Like, I just drew a Mitsuri in a kind of Chinese courtesan style kimono. And I just remember like being like, okay, what exactly is the green in her hair? And how do I want to brighten it or darken it? And then also there's like the eye scale and there's different things, but also making it your own. It's a lot. It's a lot, but I think by knowing the anime and watching it, knowing how their personality is, also helps bring like a piece to life because you can look at a picture and copy, yeah, but that's not bringing something to life. That's just copying something.
Wow, I can tell. It's you can't listen. Sometimes people like to just take the shortcut, is like copy and paste, and then this is what I've done. No, you got to actually make sure you put the time and effort into these things. Because I learned. Listen, I fell into that trap when I was in college. I just kept taking photos left and right. I didn't understand the context or the story behind them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then after a recent incident in April, I had to put that back on the shelf and be like, let's see what else can I do. So I picked this up because I'd done a lot of documentaries before, and I'm good at talking to people, having these
Yeah,
like these
yeah,
sort of these interviews. So I just
exactly.
figured, hey, this is kind of like my own journalistic side here, creative stuff. That way, I'm not answering to nobody. It's just my show.
Yeah, exactly. It's your show and nobody else's.
It, exactly. Hence called the conversation. No filters, just conversations.
Just conversation.
Even her name is Merck. She was the voice actor I talked to. She liked that logo. No filter. We're just talking.
We're just talking. That's it. There's nothing else. Like two people talking. That's it.
Exactly. Could be more, but you never know.
You never know.
So, um, your work features bold, curvy, playful designs, and sometimes even characters from adult theme animes. Hence the word hentai.
Yeah.
What draws you to that side of the culture as inspiration?
So, like I said, it's just that side is just so I find it freeing to watch them. Like I just watch them. I think they're so interesting. Like a lot of anime is like all this plot, it's a lot. And a lot of the hentais I watch do have major plot and the characters grow. Like interspecies reviewers.
Yeah.
The angel falls from the sky, forms a group of these guys that literally go in and review brothels.
Yeah.
And you find his look on life kind of changes. And I just really enjoy like it's kind of like reading smut a little bit. It's kind of like reading smut. So it's basically like you're reading to enjoy a story, get out of your body for a little bit and be in somebody else's
Right.
shoes. And it just has a little bit of a spicier content. I do think that people in those vulnerable positions, I do like the vulnerability of it. It helps me step out of my comfort zone, and I feel like I'm also helping other people step out of their comfort zone a little bit and showing that like even though that a lot of the anime bodies are kind of disproportionate, there is a softer side to them. That's why a lot of my drawings are curvaceous and you can see like the hip dips and the pudge. There's
Yeah.
the pudge. Yeah. Like the little, muffin top, that's real shit. Um yeah, so it's just like I'm taking something that I like and enjoy, and then I'm putting a little bit of a more realistic spin on it to make it more relatable.
Okay.
Yeah.
And and I also agree with everything you said. There, I have excuse me. I have watched a lot of that stuff, a lot of hentai. Here's the thing. yeah, one thing I learned from watching all these stories, they're still just stories. They're not just,
Exactly.
you're not just watching people, just you're not
It's
just watching
not
body.
just that's the thing about hentai. It's not just porn. You know, when you watch a porn video, that is the porn. That's what you're watching. But with hentai, there's actually people behind the scenes taking time to make each individual character and making them into brought and bringing them to life, you know?
Mhm. And here's the thing, and also, they have like these lots of romantic stories that after I watch them so many times, now I understand the context. Like, there's this old '90s OVA called Pia Carrot. I watched that like 15 times.
Yeah.
It was a lot of romantic stuff going in there. Complications.
Yeah.
Sometimes you never know. Some even in hentai, they do teach us lesson in some of these
Yeah, in a
that we
way,
watch.
it teaches some type of lesson. Even like the harder ones, the harder core ones, they have like some kind of like issue that the character needs to solve, Like, is it solving it in a different way? Absolutely. But, it solves the issue.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the more that I watch the stuff, the more I understand. Okay, now I understand what the context of the show is about.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
not to mention all those mind controlling ones where they just like take control. If you
I
seen
know,
some of
that's where it's crazy.
that's crazy. But that's a different section. So, um, next one. Which anime, manga, or adult themed characters have been especially fun to tattoo? Are there any that remain in your bucket list? Because I've seen a lot of stuff that I've seen,
Yeah.
and I recognize.
So
I was like, I just watched that the other day.
yeah, there's a couple. Again, interspecies reviewers. That's a big one. There's so many different types of like hybrid women, and I absolutely love the hybrid women. Okay, I love monster women. Um, so I would absolutely love to tattoo someone from there. There's this other one. It's a manga. Gosh, what's its name? I can't remember, but it's like this guy. He's moves into this new apartment, and there's this ghoul that's haunting his apartment, and he basically seduces her and brings her out of the shadows and is like living with her as kind of like a wife a little bit.
Wow.
And she's just so pretty, and I love the long black hair. It's like the spooky like ring kind of vibes, but really super good. Oh god, I can't remember its name now. Fuck. But
Take your
yeah,
time.
and then um what was the recent one? There was a recent one, and it had an orca woman on it,
Yes, I
and
recognize her.
yeah,
Her
yes,
name is Ruka from Ajin. I forgot the rest of the name. Yeah,
yeah.
I know who you're talking
Second
about.
episode, yeah.
I actually like that one. Okay, listen, I actually like that one because I like the romance he with him with her
It's
and
just
Maki.
so cute. They just like he just connects. They just connect together, and he supports her. Okay, he's
Hmm.
supportive boyfriend.
They just got so embarrassed, so now the other team members had to try to get them together.
I know it's real shit. Your friends are gonna push you. Try to push the two together. Yeah.
So, but I actually like the underwater scene. That was kind of romantic too.
I know. He just kept going, man. He just really just kept going.
Told you, even in this stuff, there's still a lot of romantic lessons going on.
Exactly. And like them just admitting their feelings and in that moment of passion, the feelings are high. And obviously, if you feel that connection with someone, taking this next step is natural and easy.
Yeah.
So why
And,
wouldn't it happen?
yeah, and in one of those live shows, the lady was telling them, "Oh, just leave them alone. Oh, they're finally being honest with each other.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly. It's like you can't tease them too much.
no, don't do that now. Do not do that. Let them figure out their own problems.
Exactly. Exactly.
So
But yeah, those are a
let's.
couple of them. I would also love to do a piece maybe from um, Apothecary Diaries. And it's not a hentai, but
Yeah, I
I
know.
really do enjoy the concubine relationship with the emperor, and there's a couple concubines where I'm like, huh, that's, they're there to provide children for the emperor, but at the same time they're they have like all these issues coming up, like poisoning's a thing. The easiest shit can knock out like the whole inner palace. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
So I would really love to do one of the concubines.
Mhm.
Lady Li Kwa's my favorite.
Okay. Well, hey, sounds like you got a whole list of something. Plus, there's more hentai coming out. It's not going to stop. There's more, so you
No,
probably
it's
got.
just the list is gonna get longer. It's never gonna stop.
So you got a lifetime of tattoos to do, pretty
Exactly,
much. So it
exactly.
doesn't stop there. So it's pretty much gonna keep itself going.
Yeah.
So all right, we're out of that section. Onward to section two. Client experience and collaboration. What's one of the most surprising or memorable client requests you've received in your niche?
Oh, that's an interesting one. I think it was actually recently. So for my birthday in April, um, I gave out a coupon for like $200, which it covers like an hour and a half of tattooing.
Wow.
So I was like, but it has to be within the anime piece and it has to be in my style. And this guy, he was like, I want you to pull out all the stops. I was like, okay, like I have when I'm consulting with the client about those kind of tattoos, I have a different set of criteria or like lists of questions I have to tick off the boxes to.
Right.
Um, it's really funny because their girlfriends or wives or sometimes their boyfriends will be there, and I'm like, okay, I have to ask this question. I'm like, are you an ass, boob, or thigh man or woman or person? And it's usually pretty surprising reactions. And then I have to talk about the scale of nudity. So
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
how far are they wanting this to go, you know?
Oh yeah.
Um,
Definitely ask that.
yeah, exactly. And I want to make sure that like I'm not stepping into an uncomfortable zone because there's a lot people have barriers, and I want to respect those barriers as much as possible. But this guy came and he was super excited. He won. He wanted this absolute like hell spawn succubus, and she has hooves. He was specifically wanted hooves. I was like, okay, I can do that. And he said he was an ass and thigh man. All right, I was like, okay. So, but he wanted like super red skin.
Mm.
So this piece is very like red hue. So in tattooing, red ink is almost equivalent to black in like quality and stuff. It's one of the easiest colors to line with, and that's why a lot of like when people are like, I want red line work, it's a lot easier to work with, and it's usually we're usually able to do that. So this guy just wanted this full red tattoo, and I was just trying to figure out how to do a scale of reds. So I had red with green, red with blue, things like that, with just like a drop or two. It was the color theory shit. I had to like get a notebook and get color theory shit. And I was basically experimenting for like 2 days before, trying to get the right scale of reds. And each
Okay.
thing was like super different red. Um, so that was probably the most intense one. Um, it's not posted because Instagram made me take it down.
Oh, that's
um, yeah, it's really sad. But then there's also one super weird. I had this trans lady come in and she was chilling, and she was like, "I want a tramp stamp." I'm like, "Okay, cool. What kind of tramp stamp?" She goes, "I want a dill pickle." A realistic dill pickle that says "dill me." I was like,
wow.
wow, okay.
Okay, that was.
It was a little like it's so weird because I draw nudity super easy, men, women, whatever. But that one request was a little weird for me. I'm not gonna lie. It was just the placement and then like the font and then the intense realism of the dill pickle.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You know, some of these clients have very creative imagination. They could be
Great.
artists themselves.
Our shop got a request like a month ago about asking if we tattooed penises, like on a penis. I was like, I'm good, bro. I can't.
Oh my god. You know, there was one person, I think her name was Stacy Tattoos. I don't know if you follow her. Well, there's a lot of tattoo artists at Anime Inc. that weekend, so you can't tell who you checked out or whatnot. So what happened was, I think it was like some kind of like sexual harassment going on. So they said, "Can you tattoo on my down there?"
Yeah.
So and yeah, so she was like, she had to report him and just posted on Instagram saying this is what he texted him. So after that incident, he kind of disappeared and deleted his Instagram for asking for her to tattoo his thing down there.
Yeah.
So then, and the other thing is I asked her what happened, and I was like, you can't be doing that. Like it's hard. Here's the thing, and I respect all the work you guys done. Y'all can't be harassing women to be doing this sort of thing. It's hard enough with you guys being in the tattoo industry. So, like me, I listen. I don't be doing that crazy. So listen, you're not gonna see me getting a tattoo any tattoos because I don't do tattoos. I do shirts. They're easy to get rid of, but but my thing is, you gotta respect these people. I had the same conversation with Tattoo Tinkerbell, my local Georgia tattoo artist. We had this conversation. You check
People
it out
just don't
in the
know where
previous.
the boundaries are. Like they think because we do tattoo these things that you can just ask us and like try to seduce us in any way, and that's
Yeah.
not the case. We're although we are open with it, it
Mhm.
is not an invitation.
I gotta do that.
And people just don't understand that, and I think that's always going to be an issue, unfortunately, as women in the tattoo community. But yeah, it's my one of my coworkers, Chaka, he wasn't there, but super cool guy. There's been a
Mhm.
couple cases where I'm like, dude, like, are you okay? Like your client, it happens to everyone, but as women, I think we notice it more often, and
Right.
it's more. I feel like they're more brazen with us, more bold in a
Yeah.
way.
And you just gotta be careful. Like, listen. Just stay alert. I make sure to stay alert 24/7. Just you never know
Exactly. Yeah.
what kind of weird stuff's gonna happen. And I know you and your husband look out for each other. So
Yeah, he
there's
definitely he's got my back. I got his.
there's that. So that's taken care of too. So, but yeah, you just gotta be careful with those certain things. But it's nice that you have like those clients who are trying to make sure we don't cross any lines.
Exactly. Like
We don't want
asking, hey, is it okay if I make these kind of jokes? Is this okay that we talk about this? It's because when we tattoo, it's people tend to talk a lot.
yeah.
It's like therapy a little bit.
it it is like therapy, and sometimes when I have my own personal problems, like, hey, my system's malfunctioning, my like pretty much when I like go to like all those like technology companies or something like Best Buy or
Yeah.
GameStop, I ask them, listen, I try to be cordial, I don't want to be aggressive. Hey, this is malfunctioning, what can we do about this?
Yeah. Yeah. It's like, it's just a little.
So, but hey, I'm learning much from you tonight, so there's that. um Next question, do let's see. When clients come to you with bold ideas, as you told me in that previous section
Yeah.
questions, how do you ensure the tattoo feels empowering and intentional rather than just provocative?
Okay. So that's actually a really good question. So a lot of it has to do with knowing my client. So usually, I ask them kind of like what they liked, that they enjoy, like some of them will tell me about their kinks, things like that, if they're more of a sub dom kind of thing. Um, and it just powers in the perspective of the beholder. So for for some people, seeing a woman in shibari may feel like kind of degrading, but for me, it's empowering, because when you do something like that, it's like you're giving that trust to your partner, and you're releasing all the power, and you're just in the moment, and you just feel whatever's happening. It's very grounding and super positive for me, like it's just in the eye of the beholder. So knowing your client, knowing like what kind of person, this person is. That's why I really like to meet in person when I do my consults. I think meeting the person, seeing who they are, like what kind of like things they're into, not just like sexual wise, but hobbies and things like that. And, I do a lot of like the disappearing act, kind of is what I call
Right.
it, the disappearing act, where like you have the underwear and then you kind of slide it over a little bit. It's just a little peek
Oh, right, right,
or
right,
the
right.
imprint, It's a little bit of a peekaboo. And I do that because it's giving that woman power to whether she shows it or not is her choice. It's all about consent. It really is. And all the women that I draw are men. It's all consenting. So them allowing us to see that is empowering.
Wow. Yeah, like I said, I always be asking people, like, like you said, you want to make sure I know this person, I know what
Mhm.
their characteristics are, what their likes, dislikes, their quirks, all that stuff. You want to make sure you know all the information about this person. Like I'm saying, I want to know all about you guys, like, because I know when you say we're gonna do the avatar thing, I want to make sure I had your consent first before
Yeah,
I hit the record button here.
exactly.
So,
Yeah.
but everything's okay so far. So.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's why I always ask myself, there's a lot of people in this world who do a lot of crazy and weird shit, and it's like they just don't care about how this might affect the other person.
Exactly.
I
Yeah.
will give. It's okay if I give a few examples here.
Yeah, please.
So, one example, there was this incident that happened early this month in August.
Hmm.
I think you're familiar with Demon Slayer, right?
Yes.
So there's this Zach Anger was actually stalked by this girl who was on the autism spectrum,
Okay.
and she actually was following him around and found his hotel that he was staying at.
Oh no.
So I was like, okay, even if you're on the spectrum, you can't be doing that.
Yeah.
So because here's the thing. Some fans will just like dismiss the voice actors mentality because they sometimes they get like tired from having the voice hours in a voice box, and it's like, oh, we don't care about all that, we just want to see him and talk to him.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't,
It's like they're
shithead.
people too.
Yeah, I was like, no, it doesn't, shitheads,
Yeah.
because you got to respect their boundaries because they put a lot of hard work. They grew up like us. They live like us.
Hmm.
They deserve to be respected as human beings. So,
Exactly.
and the worst part was she was recording herself. Like, don't. And I was like, don't,
It's like, why
don't.
are you telling on yourself as well? Like,
I
is
was
that
like, don't. I was like, don't film it. Don't film yourself.
not? Don't film yourself stalking someone. Okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think
And security kicked them out.
that's
Kicked her out.
good. That's good. I mean, I
Yeah, but I was
totally
like, don't film yourself.
do it.
Mhm.
Dude, I can't believe she filmed herself doing that.
Yeah. And
But
then
I think
another.
it's like kind of like, when I do build the character who's more of an original character for my clients, I think it's making them human. It's not just, a poster girl. It's a lot of my characters have little quirks. Um a
Yeah.
lot of people don't see them. Um, but in my head, it's kind of like each character has a story and the trauma and different things that they've been through that make them this way. So in my head, it makes sense. To other people, maybe not so much.
It, yeah, but I do understand by reading some of the stuff and looking at the tattoo work you've done. I was like, okay, she likes doing this kind of stuff. She's not just doing it just to like, no, because she likes these characters. She wants to like pretty much with tattoos. You're also telling a story.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
there
And
it is.
you can, it's just like any other anime tattoo. It's like you respect this character or your client respects this character to the point where you want to make it permanent. If it's not only just the character but also the anime itself is can have such a big impact. So, yeah.
Huh. Wow. All right. On to the next questions. Do clients usually arrive with specific characters in mind, or do they often give you creative freedom to design something unique?
Um, it depends. Like I said, a lot of people come in with a list of requirements, or the character specifically doing something. Recently, I had a guy who was like, "I want a solo leveling sleeve," and was like, "Okay, I want Jinwoo and I want the shadows coming out. Other than that, you have full creative freedom." Which I think, in my opinion, I think giving that kind of creative, setting some guidelines,
Right.
and then allowing the artist to like do their art, I think makes the tattoos come out so much better. And I feel like it just flows better when there's feeling and passion in it. Um, and then like when you have those guidelines, a lot of them are pretty basic. So like they just want this character from this anime. Okay, cool. Well, they could be literally be doing anything. Like you could have Nami from One Piece. She could be literally with a giant sack of money that she's recently stolen. She could be, oranges are associated with her family, her tattoo specifically,
Right.
her character. There's just so many options. So I think when people come in with a little basic guideline, like, hey, this is the character, this is kind of the feel of the tattoo I'm feeling. And then usually, again, it's the client. So how
Yeah.
do they feel? Like who are they? What does this tattoo look like? What if their other tattoos look like? Because that can totally affect the feeling of a tattoo.
Wow. That's nice. That's nice that, like I said, people be doing their homework. They want to make sure like, hey, I want to make sure I bring some to the table so we can both talk about it before you go ahead and start drawing on me.
Exactly,
That's
exactly. And I feel like people lose that part of it. They just go to a random artist and they're like, I want to do this thing. And they're like, I've never done this before, but okay, like kind of thing. That's why I think it's so important to look at artists and research. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. You want to listen, you don't want to go into unknown territory. That's like the same problem I had when I was doing all those photos. I went into unknown territory so many times. I did not do any research. I've got to do better. Now I'm here in this year. I'm doing better on having to, making sure I read more and do my research on certain things.
Yeah.
That thing is I got back into like school, so I got to go back into reading more. I'm trying to read more these days,
Yeah.
trying to make sure I have like references for when I come to the classroom and be like, hey, I researched this. Let's see if we can reference some of these to what you're talking about to the teacher. I'm doing cybersecurity, so I'm just asking,
Oh, okay.
previous.
Yeah.
Yeah, this last Monday we talked about black hat hackers, white hat hackers, gray hat hackers. The only reference I had was Watch Dogs. Don't judge me. I played that game too many times.
I mean, I get it. Everybody has their things.
Mhm. So, but my dad was like, "This we're talking about real life situations." But I mean, it's a watchdog. But doesn't watchdogs have a few real life situations? Kind of, sort
Yeah.
of. I mean, because with Aiden Pierce, he's a great hat hacker. He does fight crime, vigilante, all that stuff. They also
Yeah.
talked about the blackout of 2003 in that game.
There's like there's some truth in the acting. There's some truth.
Hmm. So, and guess what? He actually agreed on me on the section where sometimes people like to bounce their signals everywhere to try to like send them a person somewhere else to go find them. Like they like to bounce their signals all across the globe.
Yeah.
So hey, that's how the technology works. Hence why I'm in here.
Yeah,
You know.
exactly. Yeah.
So I mean, but yeah, just something that has to have extra so I can keep like funding all the cool stuff I'm doing. So there's that. Um, let's see. what's something you wish every client understood about getting a tattoo in your style before booking with you?
Oh, that's a hard question. There's a couple things I think that people just need to understand in general.
Mhm.
When you come to people, expect them to do the in their style. So, like we said before, I'm an artist. I have a specific style that I'm good at. And even though it's still considered hentai or lewd, it's under a category, but I'm a subcategory into that.
Okay.
So it's like, some of like most of my drawings I do like line weights. So the thicker around certain parts of the thighs, things like that. I also do like white streaks around to make it look round and squishy.
Right.
Also shine spots. I have them differently than a lot of people like to draw them. Um, so it's just understanding that I wish people would look more into the art and into the tattoos I've done before
Right.
and then kind of compare it to what they're wanting. Like so for some reason I get a lot of like people wanting to do traditional tattoos, like the pinup girls. I can
Can't do
I hate thick lines, okay?
it. Okay.
I don't like them. I don't like the whole piece just being bold, I like my little selective line weights, you know? Um, that, and then also understanding that this is going to be out in the open. I think a lot of people have like
Right.
this stigma where it's like, oh, I can't get this because my parents are going to see it. Things like kids. And those are really great things to think about. Um, a lot of people placement is super huge when it comes to that. So like when you get tattoos like this, a lot of people want it to be coverable. So like thighs, upper arms, under, short sleeve shirts, things like that.
Right.
So I think a lot of people really need to think about placement when they come in for these tattoos. And then also the amount of color. I have very intensive color and it's very rough healing. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
It's rough healing. And you will need multiple sessions.
Wow.
Um, but it's totally worth it in the end.
So they just need to make sure, hey, let's make sure we put it in the right place. I don't want to put it in the wrong place.
Yeah. And
Just,
then also be prepared to come in multiple times.
yes. And I know there's a lot of people out there like, oh, I don't want to do this because my girlfriend might act up if they see me with this on. My parents might act up if I have this right here.
Yeah.
I
It's
would
like
say
I
just wear it
feel like
proud. Like,
Yeah, I feel like express yourself the way you want, but do it in a way, like I said, somewhere coverable. I have mine out in the open because I feel like that's how I am as a person. And a lot of people are like, what about your kids? I'm like, well, we'll talk about it in a safe environment rather than having them get thrown in high school and have
oh,
to find
yeah,
out for themselves like I did,
yeah.
like
Let's
we
try
can
to keep it away from
talk about them
closed doors.
exactly and talk about them in a safe manner, like not try to shield them from those kind of things, because
Mm.
it's not the way of the world.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No,
Sorry.
it's okay. You just gotta be careful. Like you gotta tell people, hey, we can talk about that, but not in here. So
Exactly.
let's go somewhere else where there's
Yeah.
less ears.
It's like I'm cool talking about this subject, but I feel like we need to do it in a safer space.
Ex- Exactly. That way, it's not as stressful with people listening. Everything. So, uh, one last question of this section, and then we'll be halfway done.
Okay.
Um, have you ever had to turn down a design request, and if so, what guides you that decision? Because I know there were some, like you said, like we talked before, boundaries. Some things we just can't bring ourselves to do, and I can't. I'm sorry, I can't do it.
Yeah.
Can you
I actually had this one client, really cool dude. I've never had any issues with him. He's very respectful. I did turn down one of his ideas because again, it was on that barrier of This character looks like a child.
Uh,
And I can't do it. I can't do it. It doesn't feel right for me. And I feel like even though they may be technically 1,000 years old, the way he wanted me to draw it, I was like, maybe not. But he was super cool with it. He was very respectful. He was like, I totally understand. He goes, don't even worry about it. And then we ended up deciding on another design that was safe with both of our boundaries. So yes, there is times where I do have to like be like, hey, this is not okay. We also have like a rule at the shop. We don't do anything gang related, um, child pornography,
no.
or anything on a very intimate body part.
Yeah.
Like I said before with the guy with the penis.
Yeah, like you said, boundaries. Gotta respect. Like
Boundaries, exactly.
Listen. If something doesn't work, I make sure to tell them, hey, we can't do this. Or I always be like I said, I ask for consent. I ask for your consent, kind of thing.
Exactly.
Like, if something doesn't work, I want to come to you and ask, what can we do about this?
Exactly. Yeah, and I think it's so important to keep renewing consent, especially like during a session. Like, hey, I'm going to touch you here. Is this okay? Okay, I'm just going to move your body this way a little bit. Is that okay? Things like that, because we're very hands-on people.
Yeah.
So I like, can I get a look at your arm? Is it okay if I touch your skin? Kind of thing is like, it's just a lot of renewing consent and renewing those boundaries. Like I said, the guy was like, he's cool. I've tattooed him a couple times. So it's like, you know?
Exactly. You want to make sure that, like I said, when we go into these places, these very beyond territories that we've never been into before, we want to make sure we have a conversation about how we can navigate through this safely without any complications.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah.
I think that goes just for like anything like tattoo art, any kind of like
Yeah.
artistry.
Any kind of service industry, any kind of like customer service.
Right.
Like it's really about no, son. I'm sorry.
I know that. It's okay. You're like the third cat owned person I've talked to throughout the show.
You
Like
just
I spoke to Merck, she had a cat. Grace on the other episode, she had two cats named Lottie and Dottie.
oh
But they're sleepy. They're sleepy.
yeah. Mine is very nosy, and he's nosy when I get on my computer because he knows he's like, Mom, are you doing homework? It's not time for that.
That is so funny. Yeah, that is hilarious. But hey, you still love your cats.
I love him, the little bastard.
There's that. But yeah, it's nice that we have like any service injury. Let's make sure we just have a conversation before we get right into it.
Exactly.
That's the same thing I have in these episodes. I want to make sure, hey, like there was one that didn't know that she was going to be on camera, so I had to switch to audio, and it just had my title on the front with audio. I mean, because most podcasts have those,
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure, that's okay. Like,
Everybody's okay. Yeah.
like if they don't want to show their face, I can change that. So just make it work.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so we're done with that. We are halfway done, and it's almost been an hour. Yeah. The way this is going, it's probably going to be like 1 hour episodes going forward.
I know.
So, all right, section 3: Instagram branding and creative identity. Your Instagram showcases anime, lewd, and even adult themed tattoos, and I should know because I saw it.
Yeah.
How do you decide what to share publicly to represent your work and brand? Because I know you have to make sure, okay, what can I put out for that's okay with people to see?
It's censoring. I've tried to figure out the censoring, So when I decide if something's like okay for Instagram, usually it's like, okay, can I cover it with something? Or can I like, is there a way for me to be like, okay, 18 plus on this post, and then have them scroll a little bit before getting to the final thing? So like, since like with a lot of my stickers and stuff, I have their nipples censored to like little hearts, or or the other bits with little hearts. And
Yeah.
Usually Instagram is pretty okay with that. I still have issues with posting on Instagram with that kind of stuff. Again, it's hashtags, a lot of those. To put myself out there, I have to put like 18 plus only kind of thing. So that way, like when I am promoting, I'm also not promoting children as well. So,
No
um,
choice.
yeah, exactly. No child here. No thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a lot of like, okay, will this work? It's a lot of experimenting.
So,
Yeah,
yeah, that's true. It's nice that you like be aware. Sometimes you got to be aware of your surroundings and be aware of what you're doing. Because I know there's
exactly.
been a lot of people who be posting like stuff without any consider thought about this. Like, like
Exactly.
y'all take a second to think. Like, mostly some of the stuff I post now are like, because thing is, I barely do any like, I don't do any not safe for work. So I leave that to the experts. But I mostly just post like a lot of family friendly, sometimes 18 up content because there's a lot of cussing in here.
Yeah.
So sometimes I do like because I do play a lot of rated M games, so I do try to put some rated M. Like try to put some. I haven't done a video game walkthrough in a while. I'm still behind. I've been trying to get this off the ground.
No, I get it.
I'm
Yeah, it's a lot. Trying to do everything all at once is a lot.
because thing is, they just dropped Gears of War Reloaded, the updated version of the 2006 game. So
Yeah,
I was like, that's gonna be my next walkthrough for Labor Day weekend. I'm gonna do the whole walkthrough.
the whole walkthrough.
It's like at least 6 to 7 hours.
Yeah.
So I was like,
Well,
let me
that's
make sure
gonna
I
be
take.
grueling.
Well, and also I'm trying to do Batman Arkham Asylum, the full game, because it's been 16 years since the game came out,
Oh
2009.
shoot. Okay.
Hey,
Okay.
I think I got a lot of new Arkham Asylum stuff. I got the Arkham Asylum pop figure with Batman in the front, and it has the poster in the back.
Oh shoot, that's cool.
Yeah, my
Um,
aunt gave me a GameStop gift card, so I got that for Christmas.
Oh, okay. Little shopping trip for Christmas.
Hey, Batman's my guy. Also, rest in peace, Kevin Conroy. He passed away in 2022.
I know.
He
I
passed, like I said before, he passed away the night after I finished playing Arkham Knight. Like I
That's
wake up the next morning and he's gone.
dude, that must have felt so crazy. You just playing
No,
this game,
and
and then the next day you're like, he's dead.
I was like, wait, Kevin Conroy passed away. Commissioner Gordon, why did you say this is how it happened? This is how the Batman died. Why did you say that? And then he passed away the next morning.
Yeah. Oh my
Wow.
gosh.
But gotta keep his legacy alive. Been watching all
Yes.
the
Yes.
shows, been watching movies, been playing the Arkham series nonstop. So
Okay. Gotta keeping him alive.
yeah. So they still guys listen, the Batman Arkham series will always have a place in my heart. So
I love that.
it's been a thing since 2013.
Wow. Long time fan.
I know I couldn't play the game, of course, because I was in elementary school.
Yeah, but now you can, and you play it free.
Exactly. But yeah, you just want to make sure that, and I'm sorry I took time out of that, but you want to make sure that everything's a-okay before I be like, okay, I'm posting this now. I
Yeah.
was like, did you think this all the way through?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, want to make sure you think all too before you start posting. And like I said, I do love all the stuff that you posted. I like it.
I appreciate that.
Doesn't matter if it's anime or hentai. Art is art. I don't care
Art
what it
is
is.
art. A body is art.
It exactly. All right. So, do you think platforms like Instagram have made it easier for artists to explore and normalize niche or taboo styles like yours?
Um, yeah, definitely. I feel like without it, I probably wouldn't have been seen, a lot. Um, Especially locally. I don't get a whole lot of requests for my style, specifically. Um, so it's like, no, it's usually from people all over the place. Like, I'm going back to Georgia, this year. It's next year coming up for Anime Inc. out there. They're having another
Yeah.
one.
Yeah,
And
it's are you coming to the Savannah Tattoo Festival?
yes, the Anime Inc. out there, yeah.
Oh, wait, no. I know that. I'm talking about like they're having the Savannah Tattoo Festival this September.
Oh, no, 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 no.
Not
Next
that
year.
one.
Next year.
You'll be
Yeah.
there next year.
Next
Okay.
year.
This
And
one made
I'm fully booked for that weekend. So
wow.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's like I feel like Instagram has allowed me to be found by all the weirdos all over the place.
Yeah, I followed a lot of people because I do like the art style. I followed a lot of cosplayers because they in Florida. I had like a few cosplayers from Florida. They followed me back because they saw I was at Boba Suri, so they recognized who I was because I've been doing these videos
Yeah.
walkthroughs. Again, I got to go back to posting video game clips. I might do that after I do Batman Arkham Asylum because I want to post the full Arkham trilogy on my Instagram page so y'all can watch them.
Yeah.
Because I was like, because back then when I was doing those, I was like, only like my closest friends were checking out the video game clips. I was like, what about all the other? But
Yeah,
since
yeah. Now that you're kind of, have you reached a larger audience,
it might,
reintroducing it.
so I might have to start doing that this weekend. I just need to make sure I go to sleep because I know I'm going to be staying up while on Twitch trying to stream the whole walkthrough.
Yeah.
So
You need
I
sleep in
probably
between the grueling hours.
and I probably have to eat something too. And maybe I can just be right back. I'm going to take eat because that's why it's called editing. I can edit the stuff out later.
Yeah, yeah,
So,
yeah.
so it's really not a big deal.
Just have like snacks like stashed under your desk. And
Yeah,
then just like eat them as you go.
exactly. Like if I have to go to Parker's, get me some chips, some fruit snacks, you
Hmm.
know, water. To be honest, those sugar drinks aren't going to cut it for me. I need some water. Okay,
Yeah.
maybe I'll have a Mountain Dew.
Yeah. One or
You know,
two.
I don't want to overdo it because I'm still trying to stay active and work out. So I don't want to
Yeah.
overdo it too much. So definitely fruit snacks. I mean, they may be a little sugary, but they're still healthy snacks.
Yeah, that's true.
So it still helps. So I'll I'll make it work.
Yeah.
So, onward to the next one. If you had to describe your personal tattoo brand in three words, what would they be?
um, freeing. Um, colorful and loud.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely like the color work, super colorful. Yeah. It's definitely a bolder style, so it's like bold, and then like freeing. I'm freeing the tabooness of the human body.
There you go. There you go. Them three words that go perfect. I was like free, pretty, loud. That means I can do whatever I want as long as I can express myself with nobody telling me different.
Exactly, exactly.
Um, Next one. How do you balance being playful and authentic on social media while also maintaining professionalism as working as a working tattoo artist?
Um, it's hard because some people will see this persona online and they're like, "Oh, this person does all this stuff," and then when they meet me in person, they think they can just cross all the boundaries. Again, it's just like helping, knowing to set those boundaries. So like, and when they come in, it's like, okay, let's talk about this. Like I said earlier, it's just talking to people, having a conversation is. I think that's the easiest way, to combat that kind of like playful versus professionalism. And
Yeah,
again, the line blurs sometimes, like we're experiencing, we're both having an adrenaline rush. I'm tattooing, I'm getting an adrenaline rush. You're in pain and getting an adrenaline rush. I am walking you through that pain. It's a very intimate experience, and it is hard sometimes to make sure that barrier is there because a lot of people want to open up to you.
right.
um, but I think that tattooing itself kind of does the professionalism for you. The pain is very grounding.
Yeah, definitely very grounding. Like you want to make sure that you can still be yourself. I want to make sure I still be myself and still be professional while doing it.
Exactly.
I don't want people to get in my space saying you can't do this. It's too
Yeah. And again, it's just knowing
fuck
the
that.
boundaries and saying those boundaries. Exactly.
So I don't care what everyone else says, as long as I can continue to be myself and keep enjoying the stuff that I'm doing.
Exactly. Yeah.
So last question of this section. What kind of content do you enjoy do you most enjoy creating for your followers? Tattoo showcases, behind the scene process, or creative reels?
Recently I've started this little kind of video excerpt, not expert, excerpt, with my little VTubing character and just kind of talking about things, kind of why we do things.
Okay.
And although it hasn't like made like been super popular, I feel like that's my more thoughtful content. I just want to like educate people, like there's a lot to do with like people knowing information beforehand to make a good decision, and if I can supply everyone with the information, and then the process of getting tattooed is a lot smoother and easier for everybody, you know so I really enjoyed making those videos, and I think um
Because
that
it's you. It's you.
yeah, exactly, it's just me talking basically. It's
Yeah.
just me being like, hey, let's not do this. Cool. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Like recently I talked about like deposits and what does that mean exactly. And then of course I had to put the tidbit in there about how to lose a deposit. It's for the no call, no shows. So it's like it's just talking about different aspects of tattooing in general, just to be a client. There's a lot of information.
Yeah, you want to do those things. Like, usually when I do like my own videos, I just like sometimes I do updates. Hey, this is what's coming out this year. I like a lot of pop culture. My thing is, I'm not trying to do this like this whole section here. I'm not trying to do this like for money. I'm
Yeah.
just I'm just trying to help people out. I want to put information out there. I'm just trying to put information out there and let y'all decide what for yourself.
Exactly. It's even though like it's not like, oh, Flash, like get like this, like it's a like amazing popping pieces of art. I still feel like it's putting the information out there so that way people have somewhere to go if they need it.
Always, always. I want, and I want to make sure, this. My entire thing has been a safe space for everybody to come in. I just want people to understand, like, hey, I have people who can help you out in your sort of situation, like whether it's
Yeah.
like tattooing or any other professional business area that you're doing. Hopefully, this helps someone who wants to get into this kind of stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
So, all right, last session, and this is it.
Okay.
So, section 4, future growth and personal journey.
Okay.
You're listed in both Lacey and Richmond. Am I correct?
Yeah. Usually
Uh,
I change it for if I'm going to conventions out there.
okay, okay. I
Yeah.
got it. What's the story behind working in multiple cities, and how has that flexibility shaped your artistry?
Um, Again, it's like finding the weirdos who want my art. It's a little different for me because a lot of people locally, although we do have a good anime community that keep me busy, for the pieces that I'm wanting to do, traveling to conventions and stuff makes it easier to find
Right.
those people, and traveling to new places is very interesting, because every time you have to travel, you have to get a license within that state or a
Right.
temporary license, which each state has its own requirements, which I think is crazy. Like some, it's like in Arizona, you just have to have the place of business have the license. You don't actually have to have a tattoo license,
Mm,
which is crazy to me. So it's just like it definitely has affected my art in a way of allowing me to grow, and I'm able to like go to these amazing conventions with all sorts of different artists, and attending seminars and stuff where they talk about how they do the different styles. Um just being well-rounded in knowledge and meeting all kinds of people, I think, has definitely helped me grow as an artist.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's the first time I'm hearing that you had to have some kind of license for the States. I thought that was like, you know, well, you had to go out of the country or something, but hey, I'm learning something here. But
Yeah,
it's nice that you're getting a chance to like go beyond just the town that you're in, and
yeah,
not to stay here. Listen, me myself, I've been trying to travel a lot. I can't afford going across the country right now because
yeah,
it's like because I want to go to California, but it's a
yeah.
little
It's
expensive up
a lot to travel across the state, you know.
there.
But with me being able to work and make money while I'm on vacation definitely helps.
I'm trying to get that myself too, because I know by the time I'm done with this program, I'm probably gonna be working behind a computer like for a lifetime. So
Exactly.
still gonna get paid time days off. So because you're basically working at a
Okay.
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and plus I'm also trying to save up for a gaming desktop so I can do more. Because my professor said you're gonna need something like that for more like cybersecurity stuff.
Yeah, PC and like definitely something with a larger like capacity would probably be great.
Yeah, because my laptop can go so far. So I
Yeah.
just gotta work on something like that. Um, Next, looking ahead, do you see yourself continuing to refine your anime mood style, or are there other artistic directions you like to explore? Because I know you don't want to go away from this, because this is what you like doing.
Yeah. Again, it's like I dip my toes a little bit in each style. When
Hmm.
I was first learning to tattoo, I learned all the styles. So I constantly tattoo in different styles. You can kind of see the variety in my in my Instagram of different
Yeah.
tattoos.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I think that definitely helps me feel well rounded, and it helps my, me be able to present different pieces with my clients. I do really want to try brushstroke artwork, like
Okay.
traditional, like Chinese, like calligraphy brushstroke artwork. I
Hmm.
think learning to do that tattoo wise, and then also doing lewd stuff with it, I think would be awesome.
Wow. Well, sounds like you do have plans for these next few years. You say you feel
Yeah,
excited?
I'm super excited. Yeah, I'm really excited. It's really nice knowing that I can grow all the time.
Yes. There's always room for growth, and always room for improvement too. You never know
Exactly.
what you
Always
might
learning.
you ever know what you might run out in there. So you just got to make sure you just stay, just be prepared.
Exactly.
So, um, if a client gave you a full creative freedom, no boundaries, no holds barred, like it's free, there's no restrictions,
Okay.
what would your dream anime or adult themed tattoo project take on?
Take like
Like what would it be?
oh gosh. I would probably do if it was like no holds barred, I would do probably a like collage of different um women from the different hentais. Uh
Ooh.
definitely like seeing a little bit of everything, a little bit of boob here, a little bit of ass, a little bit of the JJ, you know what I'm saying? A little bit of the coochie. Um yeah, I think I would really enjoy love to do something like that. Or just a huge thigh piece of just focusing on one of the hentai characters, just being able to delve into all the detail and get that color work just right, you know? I
True.
think that would be like no holds barred kind of deal for me. Full nude, obviously. um,
Sounds very exciting. I just
yeah,
hope if you do manage to get to that day, hopefully I'll be able to check it out for myself. See what
yeah,
it's like.
hopefully.
But it sounds like, shoot, the way you sound, it sounds like you really want to just go ahead and do all this because I got nobody telling me, yeah, I can't do this. I'm free.
Exactly. Yay. Exactly. Be a little freak. I know that I am.
There you go. If you weren't tattooing, just give me a hypothetical.
Okay.
If you weren't tattooing, what other kind of creative art art or work form do you think you'd be pursuing?
Oh, I'd probably be doing a lot more painting, I think. Maybe I really would love to, I really wanted to draw my own manga for a while. I think
Mm,
that would make me an author of that kind of deal. A mangaka, to be specific. I probably
mm,
would be still along those kind of lines.
okay. Hey, I was like, who knows? Maybe you could create a manga so amazing it could end up on a TV show or something.
Maybe.
But you never know what fate has in store for you. So
That's true. That's so true.
just be ready.
Just at all times. All
Ex-
times.
it- All right. One last question. We made it to the end.
Okay.
What advice would you give to younger artists who want to carve out their own path with a style that doesn't fit the traditional mode of tattooing?
Just do it with passion. If you can have passion and love for your artwork, you can make it. It's just keep going. It's gonna be a lot of people who say, "Ooh, why would you do that?" Like, "Oh, maybe that's not for me," you know? But there's those people that you'll find and will appreciate the art that you put out and can connect with you through it. So just keep going, you know, don't let people because of stigmatism or taboo like tell you that it's not okay because it is. It's your passion.
And and guess what? It's not gonna be perfect overnight. It's gonna take time.
No, it takes a while. Just keep working at it,
You know,
you know?
and saying, well, some direction is better than no direction.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
just go. Like if you want this is something you want to do and you don't know, I just say go ahead.
Just go do it. Just go do it. Just start, you know?
Sure thing. Well, I guess this wraps up tonight. I know it's been a long talkative session, but I want to make sure I get every information out of my interviewees.
No, I
So,
totally get it. I've actually really enjoyed the conversation. It definitely was like really good questions. So I really appreciate
right.
that.
So, but let's see. But yeah, this is Milly Millwood. Make sure you go check out her tattoo, her artwork, and hopefully you'll see her at some of the tattoo conventions. She'll be back in my
Woo!
hometown next year, so there's that.
Come find me.
Sure thing. Thanks.